I've never seen anything that makes me think he's particularly predatory. Meghan Markle, on the other hand.
Since Meghan and Harry released their documentary on Netflix, a lot of people have been switching sides and claiming that they have always hated Meghan Markle.
Here are some of the biggest reasons why people do not like Meghan Markle. First up, Meghan Markle plays the victim.
Well, guess what? It's Meghan Markle playing the victim.
Even though Meghan Markle has become very wealthy, famous, and socially prominent because of her marriage to Prince Harry, she often talks about herself in podcasts and in interviews as if she's been treated unfairly, and she plays the victim card quite often.
While I imagine that was really hard, and I can't, and if a member of his family will comfortably say, we've all had to deal with things that are rude and racist are not the same.
So some people find this very confusing because she has a lot of resources that many people just don't have at all. Like in her media appearances, Meghan Markle, she tries to show herself as a strong and self-made person.
Wow, you're pretty.
Good. You've hit on me. We can get it out of the way that I'm not interested.
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't hitting on you.
Trust me.
But most of her fame came from her marriage to Prince Harry. And some people think that she's just insecure and a little bit resentful. Another big reason why people don't like Meghan Markle is that she's controlling. Critics often say that Meghan Markle is controlling and manipulative, especially when it comes to her husband, Prince Harry.
We've seen many instances of Meghan controlling Harry like a puppet.
She seems to like being the center of attention during interviews, and actually some staff members from the royal household have claimed that Meghan Markle actually bullied them.
Meghan Markle accusing royal officials of perpetuating falsehoods.
There was a report in the Times that mentioned leaked emails from Jason Knuff, who is a former communications secretary at Kensington Palace, which suggested that the Duchess, Meghan Markle, acted in a way that was completely unacceptable. However, people speaking for Meghan Markle said that these bullying claims were just part of a plan to damage her reputation. So guys, what do you think about that? Another big reason is that people just find Meghan Markle very hard to believe. There have been claims that Meghan Markle has made statements that don't completely align with the facts. Like one instance was when she mentioned that a Lion King cast member told her that the reaction in South Africa to her royal wedding was similar to when Mandela was freed from prison. Wow, that's a big statement, guys. However, it turns out that the only cast member from South Africa said he never actually met Meghan.
While I imagine that was really hard, and I can't picture what that felt like, this is not the same.
However, some people think that it's possible that she was actually talking about Lebohang Moraki, also known as Lebo M, who's a South African composer whom she did meet at the movie's London premiere back in 2019. But Lebo M, the South African composer, he denied uttering the words that Meghan Markle mentioned, adding that, and I quote, "I cannot even tell you now what month she married or what year." Meghan Markle is also viewed as a hypocrite.
The aftermath continues for Harry and Meghan, but for King Charles, he found the perfect distraction in Deadpool.
She's been involved in promoting various causes such as environmental, social, and political issues. However, some individuals have criticized her, alleging that her actions don't align with her advocacy. They argue that she may not always practice what she preaches. They accuse Meghan of hypocrisy, pointing to instances like this: advocating for the environment while frequently using private jets, which have a larger carbon footprint. Also presenting herself as an ordinary person while at the same time spending generously on clothing and real estate. And then also gaining fame and wealth through her connection to the British royal family, despite publicly criticizing them. Yeah, a lot of people see these type of behaviors as just being completely hypocritical. There's also the reason of social status, why people don't like Meghan Markle. So Meghan Markle has been criticized by some for promoting equality and fairness, while also appearing to be overly concerned about her own social status and the social status of her family.
I joined you in London in 2019, and by that, my life had changed rather significantly. I was now married,
and I was now a mom.
They argue that she wants the privileges associated with being a royal without fully embracing all the responsibilities that come with it. For instance, reports suggest that she was upset when her children, Archie and Lilibet, were not granted HRH status, which is His Royal Highness or Her Royal Highness. All this because she and Harry were not active members of the royal family, so they were like, no, we're not giving out those titles. Also, people point to the fact that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, they still have their Duke and Duchess designations, so it's like, well, you don't want to be part of the royal family, but you're holding on to the titles. Why? Prince Harry has changed a lot after marrying Meghan Markle, and one author says that Meghan has squashed everything out of him. Royal author Angela Levin shared her reflections on how Prince Harry has changed since his marriage to Meghan Markle. Having spent considerable personal time with Prince Harry and detailed her experiences in the book titled Harry: Conversations with the Prince, Angela Levin noted that he no longer resembles a man that she once knew. Like everyone though, we all change over time for better or for worse. And when it comes to Harry, like in his case, it's almost like he has just become a complete empty shell. And this is what Angela Levin had to say about her relationship with Harry. It's been very sad for me because I spent 15 months with him. I got to know him very well. I adored him. I thought he was terrific. He had so many good qualities and was very good with people. According to Angela Levin, she sees Prince Harry completely differently today, stating that Meghan Markle has had a significant impact on him in a negative way. And there has been a huge change in Harry, almost as if he has gone backwards in terms of being confident in who he is as a person. Angela literally said that Meghan Markle has, and I quote, squashed everything out of him. Then she went on to add this: I think he's very scared of her and doesn't know what to do. Whoa, yeah, so that's a big statement right there. And it definitely would not be a healthy relationship if any spouse is scared of the other spouse. Wow. So how exactly did Meghan affect Harry in this way, and what really caused the change? Angela Levin, she mentioned that during their first date, Meghan wore Princess Diana's favorite perfume, which deeply affected Harry, reminding him of his late mother. And she had this to say about the specific incident. The first time they met, she had Diana's perfume on. Of course, Harry was just overwhelmed by that because he was a boy that loved cuddling up to his mother. So could this have been a trigger of memories, and could it have put Harry in a vulnerable mental state? Well, that seems to be very likely. Even in his memoir, Prince Harry vividly described his first encounter with Meghan Markle, and he recalled her wearing a simple yet elegant outfit, a black sweater, jeans, and heels. And he had seen her in glamorous fashion shoots and on TV before, but seeing her in person without all of the glitz and filters and all that stuff made her even more stunning and beautiful to him. And then Prince Harry also admitted that he was taken aback by her beauty, saying that it felt like a heart attack of beauty. And he found it very difficult to process the overwhelming emotions that he experienced in that moment, which affected his ability to engage in normal conversation as well as maintain his composure. So yeah, even in his own words, that first encounter there, it really affected him. And now the encounter left a lasting impression on him, as well as he was captivated by Meghan's charm and beauty. This is according to Harry himself. And at that moment, it's believed to be the moment that tipped the scale in Harry becoming the person that we see today. And that's pretty surprising because we can just see the change just unfolding in front of us. Now, we may not necessarily know exactly what's going on behind the scenes in their relationship, but you can tell that something definitely really shifted.
Katy Perry slams Meghan Markle.
They come off like such whiny I got it.
Today, The Sun said Jeremy Clarkson had asked them to take down his column about Meghan Markle.
Here are even more celebrities who have bashed Meghan Markle publicly. There was Sharon Osbourne. Now, during an interview on Piers Morgan's Uncensored, Sharon Osbourne actually criticized Harry and Meghan's docuseries.
It's trash.
but there's nothing about themselves, you know.
For what she perceived as excessive whining. And one of the things that she pointed out was Meghan Markle's comments about the lunch with the Queen. And she said that it was like a medieval times experience, which is sort of putting like a Disney type juvenile experience on the whole thing. And it just is not an accurate depiction of what a lunch with the Queen would actually be like. Osborne expressed her view further, stating this: you know what? You have a great life. You have a beautiful family and you are so much in love. Move on, get a life and move on. There was also Jeremy Clarkson, and he's the former host of Top Gear, and he faced a lot of backlash after making some pretty controversial remarks about Meghan Markle in his column for The Sun. Now, in particular, he received criticism for expressing a wish that Meghan Markle be treated similar to Cersei Lannister in the Game of Thrones when she did her walk of shame. If you guys seen Game of Thrones and you remember that scene, yeah, you can see why it caused so much controversy for Jeremy Clarkson to say this. In response to all the backlash though, Jeremy Clarkson took to Twitter to issue an apology for his what is called clumsy reference. While he did express dislike for Meghan and Harry's docuseries, he did acknowledge the need to apologize for the insensitive comment that he made regarding Meghan Markle. Next up, we have Howard Stern. Now, the radio host Howard Stern is known for expressing his opinion openly, and he didn't hold back when discussing the royal family on his SiriusXM show.
Sometimes that will rub people the wrong way, that's my whole career.
And this is what he had to say. It's been painful.
They come off like such whiny I gotta tell you, man, I just don't get it.
Howard Stern acknowledged Prince Harry's frustration with the monarchy due to how they treated his mother, Princess Diana, and he stated this: I get Prince Harry being off at the monarchy for his mother, so you got my empathy there. But Jesus Christ, when those two start whining about wow, and they don't like me, and Meghan wants to be beloved in this country, but man, oh man. Megyn Kelly also bashed Meghan Markle publicly, and she's an American journalist and podcast host of the Megyn Kelly Show. She's definitely no stranger for expressing her criticism of Meghan Markle.
Like to Oprah, and on Spotify, and in New York Magazine, and in a memoir, and, well, you get the point.
She had labeled a docuseries about Meghan and Harry as uninspiring and insufferable, going as far as calling it a straight-up insult.
Aw, so sweet.
Continuing her support for Prince Harry though, Megyn Kelly suggests that he requires genuine therapy to address his past mental traumas, rather than going to his annoyingly woke wife, Meghan, and this is according to Megyn Kelly.
The series also makes clear the roots of Harry's newfound annoying wokeness. Yes, it's his wife's influence for sure.
Her comments did add some fuel to the ongoing feud surrounding Meghan Markle and her relationship with the British royal family. Then there was Katy Perry. Now this one is a little bit of a different tone, but back in 2018, shortly after Meghan's wedding to Prince Harry at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, Katy Perry, she shared her thoughts on the Givenchy wedding gown that Meghan wore. And about Meghan's dress, this is what Katy Perry had to say. It got her in some really hot water with Meghan. She said, I would have done one more fitting. And she said this actually before praising the Alexander McQueen dress that Princess Kate Middleton wore when she got married to William back in 2011. But Katy Perry took things a little bit further when she added this comment. Kate won. I'm sorry. I'm never not gonna tell the truth. One more fitting, but I love you. And currently, it's reported that Meghan Markle is holding a huge grudge against Katy Perry due to these wedding dress comments.
Queen Elizabeth II is speaking out following Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
And she claims that Prince Harry added unnecessary misery to the final months of his grandmother's life.
A recent report has unveiled an inappropriate request made by Harry and Meghan to the late Queen Elizabeth II. And you're not going to believe what they requested, like the audacity.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are asking for charity donations instead of traditional wedding gifts.
Now, this story revolves around the home that Queen Elizabeth gave Harry and Meghan Markle as a gift after their wedding back in 2018. Now, the Queen herself found their request to be straight up inappropriate and firmly turned it down.
Apparently not stopping the Queen from giving them a present of epic proportions, an entire house.
But to understand the disrespectful nature of their request, we have to rewind a little bit and take a look at some things. Throughout history, there have been individuals that were really influential, and their actions and words shaped the world as we know it today. And they crafted their own narratives during their lifetimes, aiming to leave a lasting impact. And Queen Elizabeth II was one of these figures.
Elizabeth leaves Westminster.
The Queen is crowned, symbol of hope.
Queen Elizabeth lies home.
Another extraordinary chapter has been written. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history.
However, when such a prominent figure passes away, others take on the role of shaping their legacy through the stories and accounts that they share.
Queen Elizabeth II has died at 96 years old.
These stories can be used to reinforce certain viewpoints or perspectives about the person who passed away. And as time goes on, various stories are brought to light about the late Queen Elizabeth II. This one being one of those stories that recently resurfaced, and it concerns her relationship with her grandson, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan Markle.
Harry wrote about how his grandmother tried to understand his decision to leave as a working royal. What sort of a relationship did Harry have with the late monarch?
So Queen Elizabeth was known for her generosity, right? And it's reported by the Mirror publication that the couple, Harry and Meghan, initially asked if they could live within the Windsor Castle itself and inquired about the possibility of having their living quarters provided for them after their marriage. Now, the Queen was shocked by this request.
Worried about the future of the firm and its survival. I was fascinated to know what she really felt about Megxit, about Harry leaving, to learn just how much that disappointed her.
And she completely shut it down. Instead, she offered Frogmore Cottage, which is a residence very close to her own, described by the late Lady Elizabeth Anson as essentially being in her backyard, her solitude, and her privacy. So it was a very close property to Queen Elizabeth II. Also, Lady Elizabeth Anson mentioned that the Queen had expressed the hopes that the couple would respect it in reference to the cottage that they were gifted, Frogmore Cottage. Meghan Markle wanted to be seen as a princess, which is likely why she and Prince Harry requested to reside at Windsor Castle after they got married. And back then, only the Queen and Prince Philip, her husband, had their own private apartments within the castle, while other family members resided in different parts of the castle. Now, Windsor Castle has been the royal family's residence for almost 1,000 years, encompassing various properties from grand mansions to cottages. And reportedly, the Queen found the Sussexes' request very inappropriate and firmly turned it down. I could just imagine the look on Queen Elizabeth's face when they requested this. Even though Meghan and Harry didn't conduct their interview with Oprah, where they bashed the royal family publicly at that time, they still had shown signs that they didn't want to be part of the royal family.
Harry saying Britain was not safe for his family.
And then to make this request, it's kind of a slap in the face to the royal family institution here. We just want to, milk it for all it's worth. We want to live in Windsor Castle with Queen Elizabeth. But hey, Queen Elizabeth is generous, so they were gifted Frogmore Cottage. And some might wonder about the timing of this story resurfacing and the intention behind highlighting a quote attributed to Queen Elizabeth, especially considering the recent events involving the couple being asked to vacate Frogmore Cottage by her son, King Charles. However, the primary concern here is to protect the reputation of Frogmore Cottage, and the royals feel like the property shouldn't be tarnished by the type of scandals and controversies that Meghan and Harry's actions have generated. So it's vacate, please, go. You don't even want to be part of the royal family anyway, so go. And this is likely why the royal family will ensure that the next occupant of the cottage upholds its dignity and avoids controversy.